It's the world's most neutral spirit, crystal clear, virtually odorless, infinitely mixable. But behind its pure, minimalist character lies a rich legacy of craftsmanship, chemistry, and tradition. We're talking about vodka. From bustling cocktail bars in New York to frozen shot glasses in Moscow, vodka has become a global icon, a spirit so versatile that it's equally at home in a martini, a Bloody Mary, or simply enjoyed straight, chilled to perfection. But what does it take to create this deceptively simple drink? How does a handful of grain, potatoes, or even fruit transform into one of the cleanest alcoholic beverages on Earth? In this documentary, we peel back the layers of clarity to uncover the fascinating process behind vodka production. From the fields of wheat and rye to the precision of column stills, from multi-stage filtration to that final twist of the cap, we follow every step of the journey. So pour yourself a glass and get ready to discover the making of vodka like you've never seen before. Coming up next, the surprising origins of vodka and how two nations still claim to be its birthplace. Vodka's origins are steeped in mystery and centuries-old rivalry. Both Russia and Poland claim to be the birthplace of vodka, and historical records offer evidence for both. In Poland, the word wodka appeared in court documents as early as 1405, referring to medicinal spirits. Meanwhile, Russia boasts its own claims, with references to vodka appearing in the 16th century, derived from voda, meaning water. Regardless of where it began, vodka was originally used not for cocktails, but for medicine and rituals. In the 14th and 15th centuries, it was considered a healing tonic and a disinfectant, often infused with herbs. As distillation technology advanced in Europe, vodka evolved into a popular everyday beverage, especially in colder climates where grain was abundant and preservation mattered. By the 18th century, it had become a staple of Russian and Polish culture, deeply woven into social customs, from weddings to toasts to state ceremonies. In the 20th century, vodka went global. Brands like Smirnoff moved west, and after World War II, vodka surged in popularity across the United States and Western Europe, thanks in part to clever marketing that emphasized its purity and mixability. Today, vodka is more than a drink. It's cultural history in a glass. Vodka may appear simple, just alcohol and water, but behind that clarity lies a meticulous choice of raw materials that shape everything from its texture to its taste. While vodka is legally defined in many countries as a neutral spirit, the ingredients chosen at the beginning of the process leave subtle yet defining fingerprints on the final product. The primary ingredient is a fermentable substance rich in starch or sugar. Traditionally, this comes from cereal grains such as wheat, rye, or corn. Wheat-based vodka is known for its clean, smooth finish and is popular in countries like France and Russia. Rye, on the other hand, brings a bold, peppery note to the spirit, a signature often found in Polish vodkas. Corn, used frequently in American varieties, imparts a mild sweetness and a silky mouthfeel. Then there's potato vodka, a staple in some Eastern European regions, often creamier and denser, once viewed as rustic but now celebrated by premium craft distilleries. In rarer cases, distillers experiment with rice, grapes, apples, or even sugar beets, creating vodkas with unique textures and delicate flavor undertones. But it's not just the base ingredient that matters. Water is equally crucial. In fact, water makes up over 60% of the final product, making its purity and character essential. High-end vodka producers often source water from pristine underground springs, glacial melts, or deep artesian wells. This water is typically filtered through activated charcoal, quartz, or even diamonds to remove impurities. Some go further, using deionized water, completely stripped of minerals, to ensure nothing interferes with the clean flavor profile. The difference between ordinary and premium vodka often lies in this silent, invisible element. To convert starches into fermentable sugars, enzymes are added. naturally present in malted grains or introduced externally, especially when working with dense sources like potatoes or corn. Yeast is then introduced to begin the fermentation process. Though largely neutral in the final flavor, the choice of yeast can subtly influence aroma, alcohol yield, and fermentation time, impacting the efficiency and character of the base spirit. From humble potatoes to elegant wheat, and from mountain spring water to laboratory pure filtration, the raw materials behind vodka form the invisible foundation for one of the world's most celebrated spirits. In vodka making, clarity begins at the very first step. Once the raw materials have been selected, the journey from starch to spirit begins with mashing, a critical step that sets the stage for alcohol production. Mashing involves breaking down the starches and the base ingredient into fermentable sugars, a process essential for feeding the yeast that will later produce alcohol. For grain-based vodkas, the process starts by milling the grains into a fine powder, then mixing them with hot water in a large stainless steel mash tun. The heat activates enzymes, either naturally occurring or added, which begin to convert the starch into simple sugars. This warm, porridge-like mixture, known as mash, is constantly stirred and carefully temperature-controlled to ensure optimal enzyme activity. Potato-based vodkas require an additional step. The potatoes must first be cleaned, peeled, and cooked to gelatinize the starch before mashing begins. Once the starch has been converted into sugars, the mash is cooled and transferred to fermentation tanks. Here, yeast is added to the sugary solution. Over the next 2 to 3 days, the yeast consumes the sugars, producing alcohol, carbon dioxide, and heat in the process. The temperature is carefully monitored, as too much heat can kill the yeast and ruin the batch. The result of fermentation is a low-alcohol liquid called wash or beer, typically containing 6 to 10% alcohol by volume. Though it smells far from the clean scent of finished vodka, this murky mixture is the foundation, the raw spirit that will undergo dramatic transformation in the distillation phase. Fermentation may seem humble compared to high-tech distillation or sophisticated bottling, but it's where the magic truly begins. Without it, there would be no alcohol, no spirit, and certainly no vodka. After fermentation, the resulting liquid, a cloudy, low-alcohol wash, is far from the clear, crisp vodka that ends up in your glass. That transformation begins with distillation, a process that separates and concentrates alcohol from the fermented mixture. It's both a science and an art, and it's where vodka begins to earn its reputation for purity. Distillation works on a simple principle. Alcohol boils at a lower temperature than water. By heating the wash to around 78 Celsius (172 R), distillers can vaporize the alcohol while leaving most of the water and heavier compounds behind. These alcohol vapors are then cooled and condensed back into liquid form, now at a much higher concentration. Most vodka producers use column stills, also known as continuous stills, rather than traditional pot stills. Column stills are tall, vertical structures with multiple plates or chambers inside. As vapor rises through each level, it becomes purer and more refined. This method allows for incredibly high levels of alcohol purity, often up to 95 to 96% ABV, alcohol by volume. What makes vodka distillation unique is its repetition and precision. Unlike whiskey or rum, which often retain flavor compounds from the raw ingredients, vodka is distilled multiple times to strip away most of these congeners, compounds that contribute to aroma, flavor, and sometimes harshness. Some premium vodkas boast of being distilled 3, 5, or even 7 times. Another key aspect of distillation is the separation of cuts. The distiller must carefully remove the heads, the initial vapors, which can contain volatile, unpleasant compounds, and the tails, which contain heavier, oily residues. Only the heart of the distillate is kept for vodka production. This heart cut is the cleanest portion, rich in ethanol and free from undesirable impurities. The result is a highly purified, high-proof alcohol, technically a neutral spirit at this stage. But while it may seem flavorless, subtle nuances from the raw materials and the distillation method still linger, giving each vodka a unique signature. Distillation transforms fermented wash into something far more refined, a spirit of clarity, strength, and potential. Next comes filtration, the final polish that makes vodka shine. After distillation, the spirit is already clean and high-proof, but for vodka, purity is paramount. To achieve the exceptional smoothness and clarity that defines premium vodka, the alcohol must undergo one final transformation: filtration. Filtration is the step that removes microscopic impurities, trace compounds, and any remaining harshness from the spirit. While it doesn't drastically alter the alcohol content, it dramatically improves the texture and drinkability. In vodka production, this process is as much about refinement as it is about reputation. The most common method is charcoal filtration. The distilled spirit is passed slowly through activated charcoal, a highly porous material that traps unwanted molecules like fusel oils, esters, and aldehydes. This method has been used for centuries, and modern distilleries often use multi-stage charcoal beds made from hardwoods like birch. Some premium vodkas take this further by employing multi-material filtration systems, using quartz, lava rocks, or even crushed diamonds. Each material is selected for its specific absorptive properties, and the filtration process can last from several hours to several days, depending on the desired result. Temperature plays a role as well. Vodka is often chilled before or during filtration, which helps certain impurities solidify and become easier to remove. The goal is always the same: eliminate any off flavors while preserving the subtle texture and character imparted during distillation. In recent years, some producers have embraced ultrafiltration, a process using high-pressure membranes to achieve molecular-level separation, or even electronic filtration, where electricity is used to manipulate ionic particles. Though these methods sound futuristic, they are grounded in precision science, allowing distillers to target and remove specific impurities without over-processing the spirit. After filtration, the spirit is tested once again for clarity, aroma, and flavor. The difference is often astonishing. What once was strong and raw becomes soft, smooth, and elegantly neutral. It's this polished character that makes vodka so versatile, able to shine in a cocktail or stand alone in a chilled glass. With filtration complete, the spirit is nearly ready for the bottle. But there's one last step: dilution, where pure water meets pure alcohol to create the final balance. After distillation and meticulous filtration, the vodka is now a high-proof, ultra-pure alcohol, usually hovering around 95 to 96% ABV. But it's not ready to drink just yet. At that strength, it would be far too potent. The next step is dilution, where that powerful spirit is brought down to the desired bottling strength, typically around 40% alcohol by volume. This is where water comes back into the spotlight. Because water makes up the majority of the final product, its quality is just as critical here as it was in the beginning. Premium vodka producers use ultra-purified water, often filtered through reverse osmosis systems, deionized, or sourced from natural springs. Some even boast about their water sources as key differentiators, whether it's glacial melt from Iceland or artesian wells in Eastern Europe. The dilution process is carefully controlled. Water is added slowly, in calculated amounts, and mixed thoroughly to ensure consistency. After dilution, the vodka is rested, sometimes for a few days, to allow the flavors to meld and the spirit to stabilize. This marrying period helps soften any sharp edges that may have been introduced during dilution. Once the vodka reaches its target strength, it's ready for bottling. Bottles are sterilized, filled, and sealed in cleanroom environments to prevent contamination. Many brands also incorporate final quality control checks at this stage, inspecting clarity, alcohol content, and even the soundness of the bottle seal. Labels are applied, caps twisted on, and security seals fixed in place. Some bottles are laser-etched, embossed, or frosted, design touches that reflect the premium status of the spirit inside. From grain to glass, the journey has taken days or even weeks. But as the bottles roll off the production line, each one carries a story of transformation, a union of nature, science, and artistry. And in today's market, that's only part of the story. Because vodka isn't just about purity anymore, it's also about innovation. Up next, the rise of flavored vodkas and creative craftsmanship. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of vodka, from raw grain to crystal clear spirit, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We explore how the world's most iconic products are made, from food and drinks to cutting-edge technology, revealing the craftsmanship, science, and stories behind them. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a new episode, and let us know in the comments what product you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next documentary.